Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. I'm Tom.
I'm Stephanie.
And today we're going to be talking about the human body. And there, of course, are a lot of different systems in the human body. We've got the circulatory system, we've got the skin, we've got the organs. But today we're going to focus on the bones.
Yeah, bones, got the bones. So, yeah, we've got lots of bones inside our bodies. Probably some of you out there have broken a few. I've been really lucky. Oh, no, I've broken a couple toes. But I haven't ever broken a big bone in my body, and I'm really grateful for that. We're going to talk about how they're the unsung heroes of the human body. That just means if you're an unsung hero, you're somebody who is heroic, but that doesn't actually get a lot of attention.
Right, you're not really celebrated for something great that you did. And yes, indeed, when we talk about the human body, oh, gee, we're always talking about the brain or the heart or the liver or whatever. And people don't really focus too much on the bones. We kind of take them for granted. So today we're going to focus on the bones because they are an important element in our bodies. So let's get to it. Let's listen to the entire contents of our lesson read now from top to bottom. The human body's most remarkable and resilient parts are undoubtedly bones, an awe-inspiring subject to explore. A fully developed human skeleton is composed of 206 bones and over 200 joints, accounting for around 20% of an adult's body weight. Bones have various functions, including essential roles like protecting and supporting the body, producing blood cells, and regulating hormones. One of the most important components of bones is their mineral content. Bones are primarily composed of calcium, which provides their strength and durability. Apart from calcium, bones also contain other minerals such as phosphorus, which helps regulate calcium levels and assists in the formation of bone tissue. Since birth, our bones undergo constant regeneration throughout our entire lives. In fact, almost 100% of our skeleton is replaced within the first year of our lives, while as adults, our bones are remodeled about 10% each year. This process is known as bone remodeling. It includes breaking down old or damaged bone tissue by cells known as osteoclasts, followed by the formation of new bone tissue by cells called osteoblasts. Bone remodeling maintains the structural integrity of the skeleton as well as contributing to the body's mineral balance. However, bones can be vulnerable to damage. Factors such as age, poor nutrition, and lack of exercise can disrupt the balance of bone remodeling, leading to bone loss and an increased risk of fractures. To ensure that our bones remain strong, we should adopt a balanced diet and consume foods containing vitamin D and calcium, like dairy products and green vegetables. Regular exercise and medical attention when required are also good ways to keep our bones healthy for years to come.
So let's dive in, guys. We're talking about our bones. The only time you ever see them is if somebody has passed away and you get to see their bones. Or sometimes if you've had a really bad break, your bone will be sticking out through your skin.
Uh-oh.
That's really gross. I saw a football game and a quarterback broke his leg, and it was a bad break, and his bone was sticking out. It was live on TV, and I thought, I'm going to throw up. Well, we love our bones, though. They do a lot of good things for us. So we're going to spend at least one day talking about them and giving them some attention. Again, if you're an unsung hero, you don't get a lot of attention. But this is our chance to say thank you to our bones that help support our bodies. So it says here the human body's most remarkable and resilient parts are undoubtedly the bones. Yeah, they are pretty strong. You have to hit them very hard if they're going to break. So if you're resilient, you're able to really go through a lot without being damaged or getting hurt too badly. So resilient can mean a person or an animal who's able to withstand a lot of pressure or a lot of challenges, and then they recover quickly after they go through something kind of hard.
Yeah, resilient just means flexible. They can take a lot of punishment and still stay in one piece, although bones can break from time to time, so you certainly need to be careful out there. And an awe-inspiring subject to explore is the bones. So here, awe just means great admiration, great respect for something. So if something's awe-inspiring, it inspires awe. Wow, that is so cool. The body is so cool. The bones are so wonderful. Boy, we need to learn more about those. And a fully developed human skeleton is composed of 206 bones and over 200 joints, accounting for around 20% of an adult's body weight. So if you're a fully developed human being, your skeleton, which is all your bones together, it's composed of 206 bones, and then you have 200 joints, which connect most of the bones together. A joint, of course, is the area between your bones and the tendons and the cartilage that hold the bones together.
All of those good things. And when they're not working right, or as you get older, they start hurting more and more. So you want to take good care of them while you're young and give them good food to eat. Whole foods, good foods, not junk food and snack foods. So yeah, it accounts for quite a bit of our weight. Bones have various functions. So they play different roles in our body, including something like protecting and supporting the body and also producing blood cells. Remember, if someone gets leukemia, they'll often be asking relatives in their family if they could donate their marrow and do a blood marrow transfusion because our blood cells are made in our bones, which is really kind of strange. You think of bones as being dry and nothing inside. But our bones are very, very, very important. And they also help regulate hormones, which have a big impact on our bodies. Our hormones are substances that our bodies produce, and they help transport things inside our blood. And they also stimulate cells into action and get our body to regulate itself properly. So hormones are also very, very, very important.
Right, so again, the bones produce those blood cells and they control or regulate the hormones. And in the next paragraph here, it says, one of the most important components of bones is their mineral content. Now here, a component of something is something that makes up the whole. It's a part of the bones. So I guess you could say one of the most important parts of the bones or aspects of the bones is their mineral content. Content just refers to what it has there. Mineral is serving as an adjective here. It just refers to minerals in your body like iron and copper and magnesium and stuff like that.
Yeah, some of the minerals that are good for your bones would be magnesium. And I also read that K2 can help. So if you're not eating really good food, then you probably want to look at some supplements, some vitamins and minerals to add to your diet. Component is a word we use to talk about one element of a larger whole. We often talk about computer components. I had a friend who's really good at just making his own computers. He would buy different components and then sit at home and kind of put them together and would come up with his own computer, which was amazing to me because it seemed too complicated. But a component can also refer to stereo components. I don't think a lot of people know stereos anymore, Tom.
Yeah, everybody uses Bluetooth speakers now with their smartphones.
Yeah, they just stream music. I still don't stream. I want the real thing. But stereo components would include a record player or maybe even a CD player or a tape cassette deck. And then you'd have speakers, maybe more than two. When I had my best stereo, I had 4 speakers around the room, and I would sit and listen to beautiful music. So component, again, is just used to talk about one part of something that is part of a larger whole. It could be electronic components. It could be components that are being put together to make something like, a car or even some sort of appliance, for example, in your kitchen, or maybe your AC, your air conditioner. maybe it's missing a component or a component has to be replaced so something works better. That's what a component is.
Right, and of course we're talking about the mineral content of bones. So yeah, what are bones made of?
Yeah.
What do they contain? Well, bones are primarily composed of calcium, which provides their strength and durability. So mainly bones are made of calcium, which is an element. I think the symbol is Ca. And of course, it provides strength and durability for the bones. So we're always talking about getting enough calcium in our diets so that our bones are nice and strong and they're nice and durable. If something's durable, of course, it will last a long time and your bones will be less likely to break if you have enough calcium.
Now, some of you probably live with your grandparents, and you've probably noticed that their bones are very fragile. They're not as strong as they once were. So you have to keep exercising and making sure that you eat the right foods. Spinach is really good with calcium. Make sure that the elderly family members are getting the exercise and nutrition they need to help their bones because they start breaking very easily as they get older. So apart from calcium, bones also contain other minerals like phosphorus, which helps regulate or control calcium levels and assist in the formation of bone tissue. Formation is the noun form of the verb to form, which just means to make something, right? So you're making bones, and you need these things to make really great bone tissue. We're going to continue talking about these unsung heroes, our bones, but first, guys, we're going to take a quick break and listen to our Chinese teacher.
听众朋友大家好，我是安娜。我们今天要带大家来看看自己的身体，骨头。骨头有什么好看的呢？骨头啊，这是一个非常令人惊叹的一种器官呢，一种人体的结构。因为其实我们的骨头到底有几个呢？有206块这么多所以其实人体最令人惊叹而且还有恢复力的部分，真的无疑就是骨头了。而且它是一个非常 all-inspiring 我们可以来看看的 subject。 好，我们来看一下第一段的第一句哦。在第一句当中啊，句尾前面这边有一个 all-inspiring，这里有一个复合形容词，这里的动词 ing inspiring 就有令人如何如何的。那所谓的 all 就是一种很敬畏，哇，好厉害的那种感觉。所以骨头这个 subject 非常的 all inspiring， 因为基本上如果说是一个完全发育的人体骨头是有206块。在第二句我们看到人体的这个 skeleton是由206块骨头所组成，由什么什么组成，请把这个片语把它框起来，很重要。Be composed of 后面再加上内容物到底有多少。当然我们看到除了206块骨头之外，还有超过200个关节，200不是20个哦。关节叫做 joint。可是这一句呢，逗点之后的 accounting 还要特别注意一下。首先我们先把 account for 抓出来。Account for 呢，就是后面所谓的造成什么什么 account for。 那这个动词在这里用动词 ing 的原因，其实是因为它本来是一个逗点之后 which 表示补充说明关系子句的一个简化。也就是说前面这个206块骨头跟超过200个关节呢 which accounts for around 20% of an adult's body weight， 差不多就造成了什么结果？差不多就是人体体重的 20%。 好，所以这个骨头啊，其实有好多种功能，包括比如说像保护支撑身体啦，还有产生血细胞啊，调节荷尔蒙啊，这些角色都是骨头来做的。那我们在第一段的最后一句第3句这个地方，中间有一个 like 后面出现了4个动词 ing， protecting， 第二个 supporting，第3个 producing， 还有逗点之后的 regulating， 都是 like， 比如说像是骨头有什么功能，提到了4个。好，那接下来我们到第二段就看到啦，其实骨头它到底有什么组成的呢？你一定会想说是钙质，钙质就是一种矿物质嘛。 所以其实骨头最主要的成分之一呢，当然就是矿物质，这个 mineral content， 矿物质里面的内容物。主要当然就是真的是我们的常识，就是钙质。所以在第二段的第二句又出现了由什么组成 be composed of， 钙叫做 calcium。那这个钙要做什么呢？逗点 which provides， 这个钙质啊，其实就提供骨骼有力气啊，而且还有耐性。当然除了钙之外，还有其他的矿物质，例如说是磷这个矿物质。第二段第三句我们在逗点前面看到磷 phosphorus， 因为钙啊、磷啊、镁啊这些好像都是很重要的，我们也可以学着读看看。逗点之后还是补充说明，磷做什么呢？磷则是有助于调节钙水的平衡，然后呢可以促进骨组织的一个形成。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. We're talking about bones. Bones, the unsung heroes of the human body. We found out before the break that they're very resilient, they're strong, they're durable. They help protect us. We've got a lot of bones in our bodies. We have 206 bones and over 200 joints. Joints connect bones together. And you want to keep those joints in good shape too, because if they're not in good shape, they start hurting a lot. They ache and they make walking hard even. Our bones have various functions. They also help us produce blood cells. They regulate hormones. And we found out that bones have a lot of mineral content in them. Of course, they have calcium, which provides their strength and durability, but they also have things like phosphorus in them, and that helps regulate calcium levels and helps our bodies form bone tissue.
The bone tissue, of course, is what the bones are made from. And since birth, our bodies, or our bones rather, undergo constant regeneration throughout our entire lives. So to undergo something means you have this experience and it happens to you. Usually it's something unpleasant, like to undergo surgery, for example, if you need an operation. But in this particular case, we're talking about our bones constantly needing to regenerate, to recreate themselves, and to get rid of the old cells and bring in some new ones. So this happens since birth, since the time we are born. Yes, our bones are constantly changing. In fact, almost 100% of our skeleton is replaced within the first year of our lives. So yes, when you're born, of course, you've got all these bones, but eventually they'll be replaced by a whole new skeleton. It'll be, one little piece at a time. You won't actually take the whole skeleton out of the baby and then put a new one in there. It happens gradually over a year's time.
Wow, pretty amazing. So, yeah, it is replaced, 100% is replaced within the first year of our lives. You'll notice when little babies are born, their whole body is really flexible. You have to be very careful. Their bones can actually bend a little when they're tiny. So be very careful with them. In adults, our bones are remodeled, as Tom was talking about 10% each year. And we call the process bone remodeling. It's kind of crazy.
Interesting.
It includes breaking down old or damaged bone tissue by cells known as osteoclasts. Very scientific term there, followed by the formation or the forming of new bone tissue by cells called osteoblasts. The only difference between these two words is one has a C and it breaks down the damaged bone, and the one with the B builds or forms new bone tissue.
Right. The only thing I can tell you is that osteo is a Latin root that means bones or something to do with bones. And so we've got these different cells that are responsible for the formation of bone tissue. And of course, the formation of new bone tissue is controlled by cells called osteoblasts. And bone remodeling maintains the structural integrity of the skeleton as well as contributing to the body's mineral balance. So here we've got the word integrity, and that is a noun here. It just talks about the wholeness of something. It maintains the structural wholeness of the skeleton, the integrity, how it works as one body together. And yes, indeed, it makes sure that everything is working the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, this is really fascinating, actually. I know that I wear this tracking device on my arm. It doesn't matter what the brand is, but every day if I walk a lot or if I lift weights, the next day it says my bones are heavier, which is really interesting. So that's why we're encouraged to keep walking, keep moving. Swimming is great for you, but it's not something that helps build your bones per se. Your bones actually need that weight of walking. It's really important to lift weights, which help the muscles around your bones and protect your bones if your muscles are stronger as well. But I always think that's interesting. Every time I walk a lot, especially if it's a sunny day, the next day my bone content has gone up in my tracker, which is always fun to look at and see, how well I'm doing. So if you're interested in how well your bones are doing, you might look at getting a tracker. There are lots of different brands out there, but it's kind of fun.
That's an example of weight-bearing exercise, walking and running and lifting weights.
Right.
Whereas swimming and maybe cycling will not really build your bones up so much because you're not really putting a lot of weight on them. And that's why I do a lot of weightlifting myself, so I suppose my bones are doing okay. But still, in the next paragraph here, it says, however, bones can be vulnerable to damage. Yes, bones, after all, are human tissues, and they can be broken and they can be damaged no matter how much exercise you do. Factors such as age, poor nutrition, and lack of exercise can disrupt the balance of bone remodeling, leading to bone loss and an increased risk of fractures. So yes, indeed, again, we've got different factors or different aspects, such as age. As you get older, of course, your bones get weaker. Maybe you have a poor diet and you're not getting enough calcium or magnesium. That can cause problems for your bones. And you might have that lack of exercise. You're just too busy with school and work. You just don't have time to head down to the gym. Well, all those things can disrupt or interrupt the balance of bone remodeling. And that, of course, can lead to bone loss. And, of course, you might have more fractures, which is when something breaks or cracks.
Yeah. Ooh, you don't want that. Once you've broken a bone, you realize how great it was to have a healthy body because it's harder to walk around, or maybe you've broken an arm. It's harder to pick things up and get just normal everyday tasks done. So you don't want to risk a fracture. A fracture is just the breaking of something. Doctors will say, oh, you have a fracture in your arm, or you have a fracture in your leg. And we'll just say, oh, I broke my leg. But fracture is the cracking or breaking of a hard object, usually a bone in this particular instance. Now, to ensure or to make sure that our bones remain strong, we have some advice to pass along to you. You need to adopt a balanced diet. To adopt something just means to start using something here. So you take up an idea or you start using something in your life that helps you. Here, a balanced diet means you don't want to eat the same thing every single day. You want to have a variety of fruits and vegetables that all contain different minerals and vitamins. They don't all contain the same amount or the same thing. So you really do want to get a lot of different foods into your diet. Stay away from the processed foods. Those aren't very healthy for you, to say the least. I could say more. And fast foods. I know sometimes people get in a hurry and are rushing around and they feel like that's all they can eat, but it really is bad for you. You should also try to consume or take in Foods that contain vitamin D and calcium, like dairy products. Some dairy products aren't very good for you either, so be careful there. And green vegetables. Lots of vegetables are great. Vitamin D is also something that your body can make if you're outside in the sun.So get a lot of sunshine. I'm sure it's not hard in the summer in Taiwan. It's so hot. But if you can get out and just walk 10 minutes at lunch after you've eaten, that'll help your bones as well.
And you can take vitamin supplements as well, like you can take calcium pills, but it's probably still better to get it from your food, or as in the case of vitamin D, to get it directly from the sun. So don't be afraid of getting a suntan. It's, only 5 or 10 minutes a day. That's probably enough.I like to get more exposure to the sun myself, but of course sunburn can be a problem there, so be careful. And regular exercise and medical attention when required are also good ways to keep our bones healthy for years to come. So yes, we did stress the importance of regular exercise, especially weight-bearing exercise like walking, running, and weightlifting.And also, you need to have some medical attention when required. If you have some problems with your bones, go see the doctor. And these are good ways to keep our bones healthy for years to come, so that if we do fall down when we're older, we won't really break those bones so much.
Hopefully, that's not a fun thing to go through, but if you're around family members who are getting elderly, encourage them to go on a walk with you, maybe help them boost their minerals and vitamins in their diet so that they can stay around longer and have healthy lives. You don't want to live too long if you're not healthy. That's no fun, but it is fun if you kept yourself in shape and you're healthy, then you can stick around and see grandkids and great-grandkids, and that's lots of fun for everybody. Right now, we're going to listen one more time to our Chinese teacher.
接下来就更特别啦，我们在第3段这件事情我就是从来都不知道，因为第3段告诉我们 since birth， 从出生以来开始到现在，我们整个的骨头在整个生命当中就是一直不断的再生再生再生。再生的意思就是旧的老的可能死掉了，然后新的就会再长出来耶，这个再生。好，那我们在第3段第1句呢，后面一点的地方又看到一个介系词叫做 throughout。Throughout， 我们在 Unit2 牛津大学那篇呢，那个单元里面我们有看到 throughout the town， 当时我们也有特别把这个字抓出来，它可以是遍及某一个地方，例如我们说的牛津市 throughout the town， 或者现在看到的遍及整个时间 throughout our entire lives， 在我们整个的生命当中，所以它有强调遍及地方或者是在贯穿整个时间的意思。例如后面呢，文章告诉我们，其实我们从出生之后的第1年骨骼几乎100%都重塑了。那成年人呢，差不多每年是10%的骨头会被重塑。所以我们在第3段这边同样是第2句的地方，逗点之后有一个 while， 先把它抓出来。在这里是比较小时候1岁的时候跟长大成年的时候，所以它有一点比较对比的意思，我们把它翻成是然而。然而 while 这后面的 as adult 是在这里就是介系词咯，后面加上身份。但是当我们身为成年人的时候，我们的骨头的 remodel 的这样子的一个速率则是 10%， 10% each year。 那这种 process 接下来进到第3句，就是所谓我们中文说骨重塑。骨重塑后面的 bone remodeling 可以特别把它划线一下，因为感觉好像蛮专业的哦，骨重塑。那接下来呢，这个所谓的骨重塑当然就是我们说旧的死掉啦，然后新的就要用来代替。那为什么要骨重塑呢？在第3段的第5句的地方，其实这个功能就是要维持骨头结构的完整，然后呢，身体的一种矿物质的平衡也可以借此而达到。不过最后有提到骨头其实是很容易受伤的，例如哪一些因素，哪一些原因 factors 呢？在第4段第2句，例如年龄啊，还有营养不良啊，可能缺乏运动啦，都可能会打坏这种骨重塑的平衡。不过在第4段的第2句刚好句子也很长，所以句子长的时候我们可以试着先把动词抓出来，例如在这里是 can disrupt， 这个动词的前面都会是句子的主词，后面才会是打断什么呢？打断 the balance of bone remodeling。而逗点之后的 leading 其实是关系子句的简化，本来这个 leading 应该是 which leads， 而最后要特别提醒大家的是，这里的 which 不是指的骨重塑哦，不是指 这个 bone remodeling 这件事情，在这里逗点的which指的是从 factors 一直到逗点，也就是逗点前面这整句话的这个样态。所以如果是年龄太大、营养不良或缺乏运动的这种状况呢， which 都会导致我们的骨头没有办法保持强壮。所以记得要好好的摄取营养，然后要记得要运动哦。以上是我们今天的内容，我是安娜，我们下次见。
That's it. Thanks for joining us. We hope you learned a lot and can spend a little time appreciating those great bones that you have in your body. For English Digest, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom. Goodbye.
Bye.